What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So when it comes to Lucid's production, it's been a little bit more iffy over the last couple of quarters, but I want to talk why it's not that big of a deal, bigger picture, and how Lucid is still technically on track for its operations and its targets, bigger picture. Outside of that, an analyst just called for a market-wide rally. So I'm going to explain what that is and what that means for us as investors. Before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. Live ticker is going at the very bottom of the screen, currently down 1.8%, 11 million for volume, 18 the average, and 1.8 million shares being purchased by institutions just today alone on the secondary market. So a lot of volume, so that's always a good thing, and a lot of big money getting in. So definitely a win-win. Unfortunately, we are down because of Tesla, and when it comes down to anything production, more so with Tesla, causes a little bit more of a ripple effect among the EVs. And in Lucid's case, production is always just that kryptonite that as soon as you say anything negative about production, it just goes down, plain and simple. But Tesla did announce 343,000 vehicles in the third quarter of 2022, a little bit lower than the expectation of analysts, which was 364,000. So when it comes down to that though, a lot of individuals I'm sure are already listening to this and wishing, wow, I wish Lucid could do those production numbers. But I just want to share something with you and put that all in perspective. So this chart right here shows all the way from 2012 to 2021 for delivery numbers for Tesla. And as you can see, in 2012, there was 2,600 deliveries. So that's more so exactly where we are at as of right now, if you are going to compare the two. Ever since the beginning Lucid came out, there's always been a comparison among Tesla and Lucid, whether it be just production, technology, a lot of different things. So it's fair to say that we are the equivalent of 2012 Tesla, for argument's sake. Obviously, there's some differences and so forth, and we have a little bit more of a better balance sheet and technology, but still, for the argument's sake, production-wise, we're there. And you can tell based on this chart, Tesla did become profitable in 2019. So this is where you start seeing a huge ramp up in production. But outside of that, though, this is why I'm saying, hypothetically, it's not that big of a deal and that Lucid is technically still on track for all of its goals. So I want to share this with you. So based on all of the trajectory, which nothing has changed longer term, just a lot of short-term issues going on right now with Lucid. Long-term, nothing's changed. So I think you need to take a step back, realize that. And right now, there's 500,000 units produced annually by 2025. That is the goal and the expectation. So going back to here, they don't reach 500,000 units up until 2020. So that's a give or take around 8 years until they do reach 500,000. By 2025, this is when Lucid is announcing that they're going to be doing 500,000. So just in the span of roughly about 2, possibly 3 years, if you want to round up or down, whatever it is. So in 3 years, we can do 500,000. Going back here, took them 8. So on a comparison basis, this is how we can get profitability faster than Tesla and more vehicles produced than Tesla. So in the bigger picture, yes, we're having a little bit more short-term pains for deliveries, but bigger picture, it's not that big of a deal. So I just wanted to share that with you, and more so on a comparison basis, nothing's really changed as far as their production goals for 2023. And based on this, it does show 49,000 is the expectation for Lucid. So once again, going back here, their second year equivalent for Tesla was only 22,400. So we're definitely on par to do a lot better than Tesla, especially on a comparison basis on this front. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. There was an analyst that is saying that we're basically entering into a very critical aspect of the stock market, and not necessarily just the stock market, but cryptocurrency. And I've been really watching cryptocurrency lately as well, because it goes to show people's appetite for risk. But outside of that though, it's saying in here that basically we could be on for a very big rally, value rally if you want to call it that, which is typically what I like to refer to it, if we do and fail to break out of our resistance points, not necessarily just Lucid, but more fundamentally and broadly for the market, then we might potentially have a longer term recession, something similar to 2008. And what they're talking about is basically on the actual technicals. So on the actual technicals, a lot of stocks have held very strong support, such as Lucid. So we all know right now given the circumstances right here, we've held the $13.50 mark very, very well, impressively in fact, whereas a lot of other growth stocks haven't really been in that kind of criteria, especially more so on the Fibonacci as well. I do bring this up quite often. A lot of growth stocks are currently trading between the S3 and the S2, whereas in Lucid's case, we're doing a little bit better. We are currently between the S1 and the pivot. So definitely on a comparison basis, Lucid's doing very well, but on a broad market front, definitely shows that a lot of things are oversold. Even more so looking at stochastic, Lucid in among itself is oversold at 19. So let me know your thoughts on that. Clearly, when it comes down to oversold status, it can only stay like that for so long before you do get a nice value rally. So based on this article and what this analyst is saying is that a lot of these stocks on a similar front on the whole broader market is so oversold that we should have a nice rebound from there. Hopefully enough that we do break out of these pivot points and head up into the higher percent of the Bollinger Band in Lucid's case, in fact, though. But generally, that's what they're looking for. And unfortunately, if we fail to get over that, then most likely there's going to be a little bit more pain coming. So let me know your thoughts generally on all of that fun stuff. Clearly, a lot of good things are going to be coming for Lucid. And like I always say, it doesn't necessarily matter whether Lucid's trading at $2, $50, or whatever it is. None of that matters fundamentally as far as operation. Doesn't matter what the stock price is. They are still going to be continuing to produce vehicles and so forth and whatever it is. Let me know your thoughts on all of that. Keep in mind though, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. One thing as well I just wanted to share with you, because it has been creeping up more and more, is just short interest. So I just want to give you a quick update on that front. So generally looking at all of this, the short score is still relatively high. So 87 as of right now. Looking as far as the live short interest, currently it does look like short interest, the average is going down. So 8.94, so that's definitely going down. And the short interest today is fairly flat, so you can see pretty much flat in all honesty. So nobody really knows necessarily where we're going in the short term though. The next thing that we have to look forward to is on October the 13th. I believe that's when the next CPI data coming out. Hopefully that should show that it's being curbed. If not, then most likely that is going to be the dagger that does take down this broad market. So clearly, like I always say, this is for entertainment purposes, so make sure you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But bigger picture, as I always say, don't worry so much about production. It does suck the fact that in Q1, Q2 just basically was a complete write-off. Q3, hopefully we should have signs. I just did a video, maybe around the 3,300 is what we should be expecting from the Q3, and hopefully even better, more so on the Q4. But regardless of all of that, it's just small stuff and short-term stuff that is what is being in play right now. So let me know your thoughts on all of that. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, as always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.